Anyway, there's basically a bunch of people that wish I'd kill myself or wish I would die because they can't actually kill me themselves because they've tried so many times to kill me that basically the world knows. Like I said, for over 150 million years, they basically tried to kill me. Very, 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 very much so. So basically, everybody knows exactly the people. Like I said, these people they come to power, they rise to power in different ways, and then they basically figure out, basically they have nothing to do with me and nothing to do with anything. And basically, build a bunch of stuff that really isn't theirs. Try and buy a bunch of stuff, but basically, they're just using ones and zeros and basically just editing bank accounts until they have a lot of money, and they're basically just paying a bunch of other people. Anyway, and basically they're all just wondering about the other person. They all think that the other person is pretty much the person that's rich or whatever. And basically, this is like some sort of gold mine. One black guy owned a gold mine or something like that, and he built this place or something like that. And he runs the place like a little private whatever, and basically have sex with all the girls or something like that. And it's a black guy owns all this or something, and basically a drug dealer or something like that. And they post all this stuff like it's a great nice place, but it's really actually like hell zero or whatever. And there's actually even a couple shootouts in this place actually, actually honest to God shootouts where everything gets busted and broken and basically there's blood everywhere, and they repair it I think eventually, but yeah, like there's video of of this whole place being destroyed, and basically someone goes in there with a gun and shoots up everything, and like someone dies over there and someone dies over there, and basically eventually they shoot up this whole place and they kill a lot of people there. Actually, I don't know what happened after this, but basically a lot of people die in this room. This room these people are talking like there's blood that's all broken, the broken glass, like somebody shoots up the whole place eventually. And there's this big war or something like that or something, and basically a bunch of people die, and a lot of other people say "fuck this." Like I say, when most places say they went bankrupt, what they really mean is someone walked in there and shot up everyone, and killed everyone, and the rest of the workers are like, "We're not working there anymore. Goodbye. We don't want to have anything to do with this place." So, and that's pretty much what happened to this place is. Well, a bunch of people that hacked a computer or something like that, had a bunch of money or something like that, and basically someone else figured it out, or someone just didn't give a fuck and basically started shooting up the place after they tried to rape a bunch of girls. And yeah, it's basically Hell Central pretty much. I mean, basically, yeah, like a lot of the people, like a lot of the builders who did build it or whatever, are like, they didn't get paid. And basically, a lot of people, do this kind of stuff, whatever. Oh yeah, I mean, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, basically. It's just a bunch of cults and a bunch of fake money and a bunch of printing money and a bunch of printing presses, and everyone thinks the other person knows what's going on, but they don't. And it's a bunch of people with guns that would shoot every other people, and a bunch of other people. Like a lot of people use turbines actually to put their gun up inside their turban because basically they're not supposed to have weapons on the job site, but they've learned from experience that they better have a weapon because you never know on these job sites. Like any minute now, someone could walk in and basically start shooting, and you'll be without a gun, and you'll be like, "Fuck." So the people with the turbans basically wear the guns up inside their turbans. It's a good place to put a gun, actually, and everyone just thinks, "Oh, it's a turban," and it's not until they look inside that they see the gun, and it's basically the best way to be working around these job sites, pretty much. And people even say, "Oh yeah, they put their guns in their turbans." That's why they have them up there. They wear them so no one knows that they have a gun on them, even though they do. So if things go bad or whatever, they can shoot people. They can shoot back because otherwise, because you're not supposed to wear a gun, but with the turban on, it'll stay up there nice and perfect. So anyway, yeah, and maybe sometimes they actually even threaten other people, basically. But that's why a lot of people wear turbans or whatever. It's not a religious thing at all. It's the fact that you can have a gun up there and basically have easy access to a gun. And some other people put guns in their hard hats and stuff like that. Because you never know on these job sites. Somebody could walk through and just shoot everyone or shoot people, and they do all the time. So a lot of these job sites basically like, are you going to shoot first, or is he going to shoot first, or whatever? And a bunch of other people like, if you don't show up, I'm going to find ya. Anyway, so a lot of these foreign job sites, if you looked in the in the hard hats, you'll find a gun. That's basically why they actually wear the hats. It's not even for protection. They for years they didn't wear anything until people started shooting people, and then other people would go to the job sites and they would spot and see which ones had guns and which ones didn't. So basically. And then they would go and shoot the people with the guns first, or kill the people with the guns first, and then they would go on to the workers. So a lot of the workers just started wearing guns inside their hard hats. So, and then you don't know who has a gun, who doesn't have a gun. So you shoot two or three, and then the rest of them pull out their guns. And that's pretty much how you gotta live on some of these places. Basically guns in their hard hats, pretty much. Or else, that's also why sometimes the hard hats are a little bit tall, because there's a gun in there. Yeah. Anyway, I asked. I was wondering. I was like, what's the deal with all the shooting? And what's the deal? It's like, well, you see, they all have guns, and they all wear them in their hard hat, and they look like they're just wearing a hard hat, but there's actually like a 45 up in there. And basically, if someone starts shooting, or if they start killing people or whatever, you can basically get to the gun and pull it out and shoot it. Or if you don't like someone, you can just get to your gun and shoot them. And that's basically how they decided to live over there. Just the way it is. Because otherwise you get shot, and I'm not exactly sure who's getting paid more or less, but yeah, I mean, there's the people, and they won't let other people with guns. Like sometimes they check the hard hats, so because they don't want other people to have guns. They just want to be the only ones with guns, but they don't want to know who has the guns and who doesn't have a gun. So everyone wears a hard hat, and that's pretty much why they do that. So I found out. I was like, is the deal with what's the deal with this? So I was told basically what was going on over there, because one of the American workers asked and was like, so what's going on? Or I asked, and one of the people said, well, they put the guns in the turbans and in their hard hats, so that way they won't get shot, because over there, all the time they shoot people. People mean nothing to them. Well, the truth is, people mean nothing to over here too, but it's a little bit better, more of a delicate system over here, I guess. Anyway, whatever. I guess over in the Middle East they admit it more. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm just the Lucifer, and basically I was wondering about all these different things. And I was wondering why they seem to not be having the same problems America does. And I was like, well, actually they do. It's just that you don't really notice it as much. Because everyone knows over there that you can't go on a mass shooting spree, because everyone has there'll be a gun up inside that guy's hat, and they all have guns. So that's why that guy's wearing a turban. So anyway, so yeah, when someone comes on the job site or tries to get too much money or whatever, they. And it's just like World War III over there, every day. So, anyway, yeah, I'm just Lucifer Star here. So, yeah, and then there's the people with the guns and people without the guns, and stroke, and everybody else. And yeah, so that's how, pretty much how things are. Because people, they kept on killing the workers. So the workers decided, well, if we're going to work, we're going to have guns, or else we're not going to work. And that's the way it is. Anyway, yeah. So that's how the Middle East really is. So everyone has guns. They hide them in their hard hats and their turbans. Anyway, I found out about it because it was happening here in America, where it's because also the taxi cabs. People would get a taxi cab driver to drive them around, and then at the end of the ride they would just shoot the taxi cab driver, or just shoot the taxi cab driver, take the car. Anyway, so the taxi cab driver started wearing turbans, and then and putting metal plates behind the seats, so when the idiot fires a shot, it goes tink, and then. And that's basically how a lot of taxi cabs had to be built, was with a steel plate there to stop most bullets. So anyway, yeah, a lot of things that were happening in the 1950s, 1960s that no one knew about. But yeah, anyway, it's a hard, scary world out there, Anyway, yeah, oh well. I was wondering to myself, I was like, what's going on with my people? Anyway, yeah. Turns out they're all psychotics. They're on psychotics.